speak directly on anything on our agenda tonight or otherwise, we would ask you to fill out a little speaker card. They're right up here in front of our police chief. And look here, I think Jean might actually pass them around on the chest. This helps us when we do our minutes, that we know the citizen's name that spoke, and it just helps us keep track as we follow through some of our processes. So if you would like one of those, just raise your hand up and Jean will bring you one. And if you'll fill it out and then return it back to our city recorder here, Debbie, wave your hand. Our city recorder there at the table, I would appreciate that. She's in like automotive. You know what I mean? And they waited some days because they had families. And I don't think she wanted to tonight. It would be May. No service from my mom. So they got a lot of days. The reality of it. I've done a lot of house sitting while they found a funeral home for this or that or the other. That was Sue today. Oh, gosh, yeah. You didn't know it's it's so cute. Anyway, but they're hanging out. University Parkway, yeah. Sue had been with the university. They sent a bag of like snacks to the hospital. I guess they probably sent that over there on Thursday, not knowing how long. But anyway, yeah, that was always a good tip when you're making the hospital. Yeah, okay. I'm afraid of the snow. They're I think Renee took her visit from this afternoon. I haven't heard of results yeah. That's the first thing.
I still have 1 minute to prepare. I'm entertaining you. What can I say? It's isolated from myself.
Pretty busy, isn't it? Is it all about the hotel or different stuff?
I'm going to say, Wanda, tell her it's 5:30.
But anyway, oh, I'm sorry. Anyway, yeah, they've got some sweet memories and stuff. Okay. I don't know if I'm ready.
Thanks for bringing this down for me.
Oh, you're welcome. I just saw that sitting there. Okay, we have a few still. Okay, sign-in cards. If y'all got those and you want to run them back up to the city recorder, that would be perfect. We are fairly informal, so it's okay if you want to move around a little bit. I would just ask the moving around to be contained so that if someone is speaking, we can hear. Okay, just out of courtesy, we don't make too much of a racket moving around. Okay. It is 5:30, so I am going to call this meeting of the Town of Unicoi Board of Mayor and Aldermen to order December 19th at 5:30. Do we have David Tysinger or a step in for that? There we go. And when you do this for us, please, I would like to put in a special request. A pillar of our community has just passed away, Carl Jones. Would you mind just to remember that family and let's just give a little bit of honor for them as they just need some peace and strength moving forward? Okay, family of Carl Jones. Thank you very much for being here.
Yeah. Let's start ahead for a word prayer. God, we thank you for this evening for all the many blessings that you give to us. God, we want to remember specifically tonight the Jones family, the passing of Carl. We pray for comfort for that family in the midst of their grief. We pray for those who are around them to offer hand support in the midst of eternity. Lord, we are mindful this time of year of all the different ways that you enrich our lives. And we ask that we would, in return, be able to extend your hand of generosity to those around us as well. God, I'm thankful for each of the persons represented here in this room, the families that are represented, and the community that's represented. And I ask that you would be with them. God, be with our leaders tonight as they make decisions. God, give us wisdom and strength and perseverance as we all seek the betterment of those in our community. God, we ask that you would help us to accomplish the tasks that are set before us in a manner and in a way that is honoring unto you. We pray that your kingdom come and that your will be done here on earth as it is in heaven. And finally, Lord, we are particularly mindful this week of the celebration of the coming of your Son, Jesus. We thank you for his birth, for his life, his ministry, and his death, burial, and resurrection that has brought to each of us forgiveness and grace and peace and mercy. We pray all of this in the mighty and the powerful and precious name of your Son, Jesus. Amen.
Amen. Thank you very much. Yeah, Bill Collison, where are you? As a veteran, would you lead us in our pledge tonight? Since you got your army jacket on.
I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thanks. Thank you. Okay, Ms. Kessler, will you call roll, please?
Alderman Lemon.
Here.
Alderman McIntyre.
here.
Alderman Radford.
Here.
Vice Mayor Cooper.
Here.
Mayor Bowen.
Here. Okay, did everybody get a speaker card if they would like to speak? I'll do a last call for that. Okay, you've got cards? You've had some returns? Okay. All right. Next item on the agenda is approval of the BMA meeting minutes from November 21st. Alderman, they've been in your packet. You've had opportunity.
Can we amend the agenda to include
Oh.
the memorandum of understanding?
Yes. I'll make a motion that we amend the agenda because we need to add an item onto the agenda regarding the police department. Okay. Any conversation about that we amend the agenda? Okay, let's go for a vote then, please.
Alderman Lemon.
Yes.
Alderman McIntyre.
Yes.
Alderman Radford.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Cooper.
Yes.
Mayor Bowen.
Yes. And then wherever you want to put that on the agenda, just kind of prompt me,
Okay,
okay?
we'll do it after the minutes.
Okay, all right. Now we'll go to approval of the November 21st minutes of the BMA meeting. We've had opportunity to review. Is there a motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
Second?
Second.
A motion and a second. Any comments or discussion regarding the minutes? All right, hearing none, Ms. Kessler will vote.
Alderman Lemon.
Yes.
Alderman McIntyre.
Yes.
Alderman Radford.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Cooper.
Yes.
Mayor Bowen.
Yes. Okay, as the agenda was agenda was amended, the aldermen have a paper here as well, at your seat, regarding a memorandum of understanding with the town of Jonesboro. When, I'm gonna sum it up, y'all can kind of read that. When our police chief was an officer with the town of Jonesboro, he had the responsibility of a canine. Canines are very, they're trained, they're very attached. They respond to the person that went through the training with them. That's how they are programmed. And the town of Jonesboro was willing to work out a situation where that dog could come and be a canine for the town of Unicoi, and with Nick Hughes, our police chief, being his handler. The dog is fairly expensive, but there's a program called Paws for a Cause. No, did I say it wrong?
Paws and Blue.
Paws and Blue, so sorry, okay. Who actually put the money up for the town to purchase that dog from from Jonesboro. But there is an understanding as well that that dog comes to the town of Unicoi. And to be honest, Nick, I haven't read all the way through this yet. There will as well be an item that if Nick were to leave the town of Unicoi, but if Nick were to leave the town of Unicoi, because that dog is attached to the handler, that dog would go with Nick wherever he goes. Okay?
With the mayor speaking about this, I can bring you a bit more up to speed. It's, K-9 Nero was bought by an individual, in Washington County. There's around $16,000 spent on the dog. When she learned that I was leaving, she did not want the dog taken from another handler. He's actually I'm his second handler. She was very adamant about letting the dog stay with me. So the town of Jonesboro, we discussed it, and they said, well, we'll sell the dog. So I agreed to pay for it, and then the Paws and Blue approached me and said, hey, we'll actually pay for the dog because we don't like the dogs being switched over. The lady that bought this dog has actually got friends and family here in Unicoi, and she did say, hey, that's something that Unicoi County needs along with the town of Unicoi. I want to see the dog go with you. So she is very much understanding. I don't know, some of y'all might have seen him. I've not worked him since. I've been employed here at the town, waiting on the understanding just because of the liability reasons until we actually put him on the liability insurance. He is getting ready to turn 5-year-old Dutch Shepherd. He is a very friendly dog, and it's like a light switch that when we do need him, he's available. With that being said, that's kind of what we have to the board on whether or not we go into this agreement, and that we actually, the Paws and Blues already wrote the check to the town of Unicoi. So what we would have to do is turn around and write the town of Jonesboro a check, and then they've actually already bought another dog from the Washington County Sheriff's Department. So it's just changing the ownership of the dogs. So with that being said, that's a little bit more in the back history of my partner.
Okay, well, hearing what y'all have heard so far, is there a motion to approve this memorandum of understanding with Jonesboro?
Motion to approve.
Second. A motion and a second. Are there any other questions or comments the board would like to discuss? Okay, hearing none, Ms. Kessler, give me that, please.
Alderman Lemon.
Yes.
Alderman McIntyre.
Yes.
Alderman Redford.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Cooper.
Yes.
Mayor Bowen.
Yes. Okay, next on the agenda, this is where we typically give citizens an opportunity to make comments, but we also ask if there is an item on the agenda for tonight that you would like to make a comment, we would ask you to wait until we're on that topic, so that it's connected to the discussion and what we've got going on. So, did anybody make a comment or have a comment that maybe wasn't related to anything on the agenda?
Bill Collison, is yours related to the agenda?
To some extent, it is, although I'm not going to discuss the pertinent matter. I have a pressing engagement with Recorder Kessler, so I'd like the opportunity to speak.
Okay, come on up. 2 minutes.
Take my 2 minutes to get around. Don't take offense at this shirt, folks. This is the shirt that was made as a fundraiser for which we come. Those were the fellows that sat in Vietnam and up in China and tracked the stuff that was coming down the Ho Chi Minh Trail. Some of those boys didn't come back. So this is fundraising for their kids and grandkids.
I'm very proud. Ms. Mayor, members of the BMA, I stand before you tonight very quickly to state that I have offered myself and have been retained for service, if necessary, in the same sort of manner that I was some 10 years ago when we had a dispute between the county and the town over the indebtedness that was owed by this town for the high school. I was able to effect a settlement, which was agreed to unanimously by the county commission. And so once again, I decided that I would offer my services. In the event that there's litigation that occurs over the budget in and whatever, as you all know, that I have been a testifying expert witness for 25 years. I've been retained in over 350 cases, having reviewed some 3,000 disputes. These were disputes between brokers, broker dealers, individuals, registered investment advisors, all involved sophisticated financial disputes. And I have never been disqualified or limited in my testimony. And just recently, I was retained on the same basis that I was then. I just received it on. So if that should occur, I'll be happy to work with Elizabeth or whatever council the town sees fit. I want to thank you all. See you.
Thank you. All right. Okay, have a safe drive home. All right, was there anything sent in by email or otherwise?
No.
That we need to speak to? Okay. Okay, then we will move on to item 8, old business. We have ordinance 2022-311, discussion and consideration for the second reading and public hearing of ordinance 2022-311, an ordinance of the town of Unicoi, Tennessee, to rezone property 185 Golf Course Road and also labeled as 100 Country Club Drive from R1 low density residential district to R2 medium density residential district. I need to do public hearing first, don't I? I'm sorry. I get confused with the order. Okay, I'm going to close the BMA and open public hearing. So if anyone here would like to speak on this matter, we will give 2 minutes for each person that would like to speak. And many of you have turned in speaker cards to Ms. Kessler, and she can call your name and then come to the podium, please, and then share your thoughts. So the public meeting is open. If anyone is ready to speak, Ms. Kessler, you want to call names?
Nathan Dennis.
Folks, I'm Nathan Dennis of 313 Golf Course Road. Just wanted to continue. I haven't changed my mind yet, so I stand behind our previous discussions and the way that we continue to move forward, leaving the zoning as R1 for that. I think that was the intent of the planning commission. I think it should continue to be the pathway that we move. We heard a lot of words said during this thing. Affordable housing seems to be one. Actually, just out in California and talking to some of the folks out there that I've worked with affordable housing. I understand that $850 seems affordable, but when you do the math, $850 for 330 square feet, if you do that actually per square feet, that's actually not affordable. That's almost luxury living. So consider that as well. When we talk about that, appreciate everybody that's been involved in this. Don't necessarily appreciate all the garbage that's been on Facebook. Don't appreciate being called racist just because I want our properties to remain valuable as they are and exercise our right to free speech. So just that. Also, I don't think it should be a motel again. I know Mr. Miller made some comments on Facebook about that. I don't know if he's really honest about it or just trying to leverage us. But the reality is it's R1, it should stay R1, and that's what I see. So thank you guys, support you in your decisions.
Thank you. Okay, next.
Robert Fury.
Hi, my name is Robert Fury. I've developed dozens of properties in the last 15 years. I've heard a lot of talk about the building, that it's unrepairable. I just looked at the building. As I said, I've developed commercial and residential properties. And to me, it looks totally fixable. It does not look like a tear down. I think this is a very bad precedence to start if a gentleman or anyone buys a property that they want to develop and fix and return to use, that essentially that property can't be used for anything. I came from Washington State and my wife came from Pennsylvania. We've put all of our net worth into this area, into real estate. We came to Tennessee for a reason. And the reason why we came to Tennessee is to escape the states that we came from. They have liberal and leftist laws, overregulated, and we came here to have a place where we could invest and that we had government on our side, not trying to restrict us. I understand concerns of people that people have. Personally, we live a mile away. We live in an area where there's mobile homes, where there's people on disability payments, low income, and we all get along. So I think it's really a dangerous precedent to start to give the man a way to go forward. Give him something on paper that he can follow so that his investment that he's already put in and the investment that he will continue to put in, there's a path for it.
2 minutes, bro.
Thank you.
Okay, Ms. Kessler, next.
Walt Tester.
Good evening, my name is Walt Tester, I'm a resident of 321 Golf Course Road. And my opinion is I'm opposed to this, as I mentioned last meeting. We understand the path that you want to take forward, sir. But I can tell you, someone that passes that motel every day, the way you are maintaining the property thus far, with all the graffiti and all the handwritten signage over it, has made no attempt to change any of that since these discussions began, tells me that the property is probably not going to be managed as we would like to see it managed as a community. And for those of you speaking against, not against, but to give him a chance and you move here from another place, we're glad you're here. But the fact is, we're not going to tolerate the amount of community abuse that we had in that spot as we did the last time. And it's unfortunate this gentleman bought this property and didn't do his due diligence to say that, you know, the people in this community might not appreciate me building a slumlord motel here and they're not gonna put up with it. Maybe I should have done that. And to hear all this mess going about Facebook and Fishbook and all that, yeah, I don't care about any of that. What I do care is what these people vote tonight. And for me, that would be no. We apologize, don't go away mad, but this is not going to work. We want to see that place torn down and you build something nice. Do that and we'll support you. But to go in there and try to retrofit that old building, no matter if you say it's rehabable, yes, it might be rehabable, but it's going to take a lot of demolition and a lot of sanitation and a lot of all kinds of tests to get it clean again, and you're still going to have a mess. You cannot put lipstick on a pig. Okay? I'm sorry to say that, but that's my opinion. Thank you. Thank you.
Rebecca Ketchy.
I'm Rebecca Ketchy. I'm a land use attorney in Kingsport, Tennessee, and I do represent Sean Miller in this case. He's trying to do something good for this community. When you regulate land use, you don't get a blank slate. Zoning is mostly designed to protect the existing uses from other new uses that come in and aren't compatible. The town of Unicoi did not get a blank slate with this property. It's been used for many years before the town even existed as a hotel and before the zoning ordinance was ever enacted. Which means under state law, it is grandfathered and it is permitted to continue to be used as a hotel, whether you like it or not. And we understand very profoundly that use as a hotel has been detrimental to the town for many years. I sat in criminal court just a couple of weeks ago, and we fully appreciate the way that property was being used is not proper. And that is not Mr. Miller's intent at all. But the choice the BMA has today is not between single-family residential use for this property and multifamily residential use. No one has purchased this property. No one else in this room has purchased this property with the intent to develop it as single-family use. And the reason for that is it's not economically feasible. The property would cost too much to then put in demolition costs, and then the shape of the property really doesn't work to split it up for single-family use to get your money back out of it. That's why no one else bought the property to do that. The choice the BMA has to make tonight is whether or not this property is going to be reopened as a hotel, which really I don't think anyone agrees with first, or an apartment. And the apartment use would allow the owner to be able to run tenant background checks and control who's living there and have long-term people there who can build a community rather than short-term folks who are just in and out, which does create some problems. I yield it in 9 minutes.
No, 2 minutes per person. We've done this before, 2 minutes per person.
Elena Johnson?
Hi, good evening. Actually, I've never done this before. I'm a local business owner. I'm a local cleaning company. I'm actually bouncing off what that gentleman had said earlier about I can't put lipstick on a baby, can't polish something. I've actually done cleaning for Mr. John Miller, and that's exactly what he does. He tries to just cover things that need to be fixed or replaced, or he actually still owes me. As well as, I'm not sure if anyone is in here right now, a lot of the local small businesses, a lot of money for work that has been done. Because again, he just tries to, paint a wall that needs to be fixed or clean a fridge that's filled with roaches and not replace it. And I have no doubt that he would do the same with the budget in as well, regardless of what he makes the hotel apartment complexes. I think that a gentleman's right, it probably have to be torn down and built back up if Mr. Miller is going to own it and is doing heavy things like that.
Thank you.
Laura Mead?
Laura Mead, realtor for Mr. Miller. I'm here as a private citizen. Again, this is about zoning. 69 bedroom hotel is not a single family residence. It's a commercial building. It should be zoned as a commercial building. It's clearly not a single family residence, regardless of the intent of what you want to have built around it. It is still a 69 bedroom hotel with a restaurant and a kitchen conference rooms. So it's like the attorney said, it's grandfathered in. It needs to be for commercial use, and the best use for that building is to turn it into
Any more?
That's all.
That's all. Okay. I'm going to close the public hearing and reopen the BMA meeting. In this consideration, is there an alderman that would like to make a motion regarding ordinance 2022-311?
I make a motion that we deny the request for rezoning.
We have a motion
second.
and we have a second. Okay, any discussion any alderman would like to make?
I guess I can, I've heard everyone's side, both pros and cons. I'm a former realtor myself, and I've lived in this area for a long time. I have property not far away. I just think for the safety of the community, that there's only one way to go in order to keep a lot of the issues that we've had. To make it an apartment complex is going to add to the problem, and it's not going to fix the problem, in my humble opinion. And I just feel like this is the only way that we can go at this point. It is for safety. I would be happy if we could get this place fixed up with the graffiti and everything that is there now. That would be wonderful. And again, we haven't seen any evidence of that. We haven't seen anyone trying to clean it up for the people that live around there that would like to see it be a nice place for their community. But they have to drive by every day. It's Christmas, we've got visitors coming in, and it looks like a mess out there. So it is a shame. But I think if you're going into a community, as the other gentleman said, and you really want to do something, you should probably approach the BMA for that community first and talk about the possibilities of rezoning and your intent before you purchase the property rather than after the fact. And again, I feel like it is a safety issue, and that's my opinion.
And I'm going to reiterate that municipalities by law do have the right to plan for land usage. And that is what the town of Unicoi did when the first planning commission was ordained. And the ultimate desire for that property would be R1, compatible with the larger portion of that segment of the community. That was the intent of the town when the town was established and planning was first put in place. There is grandfathering. Grandfathering has been confounded by court injunction holding that property. That property, I don't believe, has been used as a hotel for going on 3 years. Neither owner in those 3 years took the steps necessary to address the injunction. So that property continues to sit and deteriorate. And that is very disappointing. That's very disappointing. There are safety issues with it as it sits. I think vermin and mold, and people could go in there and get hurt and whatever. So I just want to reiterate, the ultimate goal of the town of Unicoi was for that to be single-family dwelling on that piece of property. And like I said, the town of Unicoi exercised its legal privilege as a municipality to make that determination. Anybody else like to make any sort of comment?
I think my comment would be the health, welfare, and safety of our citizens. That's what we're elected to do, and I think that's what our obligation is to the town.
And we have done our due diligence listening to sides on this issue. We have done our due diligence, hours, phone calls, messages, visits to town hall. We have done the due diligence to seek information and gather information and compile it. And it is the job of the BMA then to make determinations such as the one that we have on the table here tonight for us. So if there are no other further comments from the alderman, Ms. Geiser, would you call for a vote, please? Alderman Lemon.
Yes.
Alderman McIntyre.
Yes.
Alderman Radford.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Cooper.
Yes.
Mayor Bullen. Yes. Okay, moving on to ordinance 2022-312. Discussion and consideration for the second reading of ordinance 2022-312, an ordinance of the town of Unicoi, Tennessee to rezone property on Unicoi Drive from Planned Business District to B3, Intermediate Business District, on a property defined as parcel 036.02, shown on Unicoi County Tax Map 007. This is property that, if rezoned, would allow single-family dwelling. Okay, again, this one is going to require, this requires a public meeting. I'm not reading it on there, but anyway. Okay, BMA is closed, public meeting is open. Is there anyone that would like to speak regarding the rezone of the property as it was described?
I would like to, but I might as well forget. I just,
My name is Jean Mull, and I live on Pine Hill Road down here, across from where the property is. There is problems with drainage off of that hill down to the deli there. There is 5 houses to go in there. There's not even enough land for one. I don't understand why anybody would want to build that there. It was always pasture before, so that's my statement for what it's worth.
Thank you. Any other public comments? Okay, we're going to close the public hearing and reopen the BMA meeting. Is there an alderman that would like to make a motion regarding this ordinance?
So moved.
To approve? To approve. Motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Board, is there any other discussion? Okay, hearing none. Ms. Kester, let's vote, please.
Alderman Lemon,
Yes.
Alderman McIntyre,
Yes.
Alderman Radford,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Cooper,
Yes.
Mayor Bowen.
Yes. Okay, moving on to ordinance 2022-313, discussion and consideration for the second reading and public hearing of ordinance 2022-313, an ordinance of the Town of Unicoi, Tennessee, to add a second drive entrance to property located at 5733 Unicoi Drive, property defined as parcel 11.01 within the Town of Unicoi, shown on the Unicoi County Tax Map 005. This has gone before the BMA once. All of the requirements or criteria to allow the second driveway have been evaluated and determined. So I've got to open a public meeting. Close the BMA and open a public meeting. Is there anyone that would like to make a public comment regarding the approval of the second driveway for this property? Okay, hearing none, I'm going to close the public meeting, reopen the BMA meeting. We have a motion and a second. Is there any other discussion from the alderman?
Do we have a motion?
Did we?
No.
Oh, well,
I'll make a motion.
thank you. Sorry. It's been a hard week.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Now, any further discussion? Nope. Okay, let's vote.
Alderman Lemon, Alderman McIntyre,
Yes.
Alderman Radford,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Cooper,
Yes.
Mayor Bowen.
Yes. Okay, and now we're going to some new business. There are some other pages, I believe, with some information that have been provided. Discussion and consideration to sell one 2010 Crown Vic that is owned by the police department, one 2011 Chevrolet Tahoe, and one 2001 Chevrolet utility truck, which was used by our maintenance department. We would like to put these vehicles on gov deals. And we can, for each one of them individually, we can determine the lowest we're willing to take. But Gov Deals is a very active site for municipalities to make purchases and to sell items. We feel like the likelihood is pretty good that we will get a decent return. Pictures, details about the vehicles, mileage, whatnot is included in your packet. Is there an alderman that would like to make a motion?
Motion to approve.
Is there a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion?
Are we keeping one of the Crown Vics as surplus or backup?
Yes.
Okay, back up for the police department. 2 of these are police vehicles, 1 is a maintenance vehicle. Correct. Okay, any other discussion? Okay, hearing none, Ms. Kester, we can vote, please.
Alderman Lemon,
Yes.
Alderman McIntyre,
Yes.
Alderman Radford,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Cooper,
Yes.
Mayor Bowen.
Yes. Okay, we are on to reports of officers or committees. I don't see anyone from economic development. We have not had a meeting since, economic development has not met since our last BMA meeting. I don't have anything new to report. I will have to say, I have heard 20 acres down on Massachusetts at Jess Thompson is under the buying, in the buying process to put in a number of single-family homes, which will be a good thing. We obviously need more single-family homes. That I'm aware of, that kind of came through economic development. I can't think of anything else. We will meet again in January, so we'll get another update from economic development in January. Buffalo Valley Historic Association. You're tired.
We had our Christmas at the cabin, and we had a good turnout. We appreciate everybody who did come out. In the back, we also have fruit and candy bags for everybody. If you'll be happy to take one at the end, we appreciate it. Thank you. We'll start anew in January.
I'm saying. Alrighty, thank you, ladies. Planning Commission, zoning appeals, Ms. Radford. Okay.
The planning commission and the BCA did not have a meeting in December 2022. Need to know agenda items.
Okay. All right, Mountain Harvest Kitchen, I believe Brandon has included some information in your packet. I think there's a few new clients coming on board. And I think it's kind of functioning as it has, not any dramatic changes. Parks and Rec, Tourism, Public Relations. We don't have anybody in that position right now. Okay, all right, so no report there. Police Department, Chief Hughes has provided us with a document of new information. He has identified on here that there is a grant that is going to be pursued. We sent a letter of intent in, as well as joint operations, and those letter of intents have gone as well. If you'd like to speak to those, Nick, and speak about Santa Claus.
As far as the monthly report, I do want to clarify, me and Vice Mayor Cooper had a conversation earlier in the month regarding the citations. When I'm reporting citations, it's actually a month behind. We do have tickets. I know on Ms. Kessler's report, it will state that we had 34 tickets, and then on hers it will say 6. But the dates are off. I have corrected that this month. This month we're showing 1 citation, but it's going to be next month. This will show the difference. So as far as this month, we've received 180 calls for service. Accidents, we've had 10. We've had 2 arrests, 36 reports, code enforcement 6, domestics, we've had 8. Over the past month, the department, we're getting a update with our computer system. It's going from Cloud Cop to Justice One. Each officer has to do 4 hours of training. Over the past month, we've done several nonprofits, Help Shop the Cop, the Santa Squad. I think it was 65 boxes that ended up being gave out to underprivileged families here in the community. Myself, I've been working with the state diligently on trying to get the post departments and stuff for each officer, along with working with the grant writer and the mayor. Also, we've submitted the paperwork and stuff. We should be hearing something on that by March. But Governor Lee, he did put out a very large amount, and there's like a $2 million pot after all the money is actually dedicated to each department throughout the state. We've had several big cases this month that has involved myself being outside of our jurisdiction, working these cases along with Washington County, Johnson City, and different agencies. That's pretty much the police department this time.
If I'm not mistaken, in our discussion, the items that goes to the county is not reflected in your report.
Correct.
You might
Yeah,
expand on
the
that.
citations that, everything that our computer system shows, there's a export update. export, import. That shows all our citations into municipal court. We do, if it is a DUI, the officer can write speeding in with it, whatever. Anything above a Class C misdemeanor does go into general sessions. With that being said, throughout the year, periodically, we do get a check back from the county on the citations and stuff that we have. But the number next month, we will be able to break it down and actually show how many county citations were written, how many municipal citations were written.
Okay, anything else? Thank you, Nick, for all that you do. And then we thank you for all that you do. Support. All right, municipal court report, Ms. Hessler.
Okay, this is for the month of November, and this is the amount of tickets that were actually paid. We had $402.50 in total payments, $26.95 was litigation tax, $9.50 Department of Safety, municipal training was $1.90, and CSI fees were $75. Other charges, $25. Net disbursement was $264.15. For the month of November, the number of tickets were 17 for speeding and violation of proof of insurance, 1 ticket. Driver's license required on possession, 1 ticket. In fire lane parking, we had 1. So we had a total of 17 tickets for the month of November.
Okay, thank you. All right, reporter's report.
Okay. For road projects, the Fagan Bridge replacement started November the 28th and finished December the 1st. Terry Haynes installed a drain tile with 2 overflows. Guardrails were reinstalled and everything went well, no challenges. So this is the 3rd bridge that we've replaced. We did RW Estates, Oak Drive, and Fagan Road.
And Terry's here tonight.
Terry's
Say
look-alike.
thank you.
Terry's look-alike is here.
Terry's look-alike is here.
Yeah.
Are you standing in for Terry? Okay. Go ahead.
He does,
Yeah.
yeah.
Wearing the same hat and everything. Okay, go ahead.
So we had some patching done on Massachusetts and, just to make the, transition to their next project a little bit easier. So we also had some patching on Washington Street, a couple of weeks ago. We're still in the process of, doing the application for the CDBG grant, which would be for the second part of Massachusetts. And Marilyn,
I delivered the first batch of surveys, and we are going to need, I think he said 70 something more. So January, we're gonna have to really work hard on that. Telemon has not followed through. Lance Lowry with First Tennessee Development District and I are going to meet with them in January as well.
Okay. The Unicoi County Highway Department will begin repairing Marvelton from Unicoi Drive up to Jones and Church. And this is due to the asphalt breaking off on the side of the road. So it's a safety issue. And then as far as the EMS annex, Vice Mayor Cooper, can you update us on what's happening?
I sure can. We are continuing to renovate the facility. One of our big holdups is we have to have a fireproof room where they sleep. To obtain that, we had to get an architect involved, and her plans has to go to Nashville. They approved them and got them back, and now we are working on finishing the room and the rest of the building. It'll probably be January sometime before we finish it.
Thank you for all the work you've done.
Can we get the chug hose fixed that I talked to Terry Haynes about? We met down at the end of Jess Hobson Road and he fixed the one we were standing at. But we didn't fix the ones up the road to the railroad tracks. You know, we were talking about getting some of that done so people wouldn't have to drive through them.
Did you talk to him about that
I
as
did.
well?
Mhm.
Okay, well, we're kind of waiting on him to do that.
Okay, you know, I
Is
thought he
there-
would do it that same day. He said, well, you know, we like to wait until we got a day. And he said, you've got a day here. So, and they patched the one at Jess Hobson, but they didn't do the other, so.
We'll follow up.
Sure.
Yeah, and I'll be glad to talk to him about it.
Mhm.
I don't know, he seems in a hurry that day or something. So, yeah,
Okay, I think they're off, let's see, the next week.
okay.
I think they're off a week for
You
Christmas.
know, we was trying to do that full
Yeah.
asphalt. They shut the asphalt.
Yeah. We're still waiting on the invoice from the East Tennessee Recovery, to kind of check for that.
Okay.
The BMA will hold a work session on January the 25th from 11 to 4, to go over the employee handbook and review, the audit, the 22 audit. And we'll review 6 months of where we are now, since we'll finish up with December. And then we'll discuss the ARPA funds, and then the police department will give us an update at that work session as well. We have a new employee, Tiffany McIntyre, has joined the staff. She has a master's of business administration and a bachelor's of business administration with a concentration in accounting and marketing. She was formerly employed by ETSU, so we're very happy to have her.
We are indeed. Okay, financial report, Ms. Kessler.
Okay, the balance sheet for the general fund, our cash, we're at $1,642,000. Our ARPA funds are at $782,658. Our state investment pool for the Snyder Endowment is $128,556.47. And that brings us up to the certificate of deposit, which came due last Friday. And I've gotten 3 interest rates, with Mountain Commerce Bank being at an annual yield of 4.05. Citizens Bank was at 4%, and Bank of Tennessee was at 1.25 for a 13-month CD. So we'll probably go with Mountain Commerce Bank.
Sounds like it.
The general fund for the month of November in revenue, we took in $161,798. Year to date, we're at $717,030. Our expenses for the month of November in general fund was $137,856. So our net income for the month was $23,941. Year to date, we were at $614,866, and net income for year to date was $102,164. On Mountain Harvest Kitchen for the month of November, our revenue was at $2,273. Our expenditures were our expenditures were $4,794, and so we had a $2,521 loss for the month. Year to date, our revenue was $18,439. Expenses $30,426. So year to date, we have a income loss of $11,987.
Before you leave that, what mainly made up that 3647, MHP land and building and other, what was the main?
Everything except the salary for the director. The salary and the fringes for the director.
Okay, you already paid the insurance, right?
Mhm.
Okay, so that was utilities and all the other stuff.
Mhm. So I think the graphs are at the end, the back of the financials. So our state shared for the month of November was $37,959. And so year to date, we're at $186,514.
Thank you.
Mayor, what do you contribute that November jump to?
I don't know, I was just thinking about that, because that was the, October was, well, October was the tax free. I don't know. Do you have an idea why November was that?
Well, I think your, October was lower than normal by
Mhm.
10,000. I think it's a timing issue.
Okay. just
Pretty
kind of-
much it's a swing.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, that's $21,000 more, yeah.
But in August, we had a big increase too.
Mhm.
The 81 and also July.
Yeah, it might be worth looking at. I wonder how many
You
many
had a
people
lot
are
of,
visiting.
you also had a lot of internet sales as well. I think people were buying early for Christmas.
Yeah, internet, yeah, I was not thinking about that, right. Okay, any further discussion? Alderman, if there's a motion to approve.
Motion to approve.
Second. Okay, motion and second. Any more questions or comments? Okay, let's go to the vote, please.
Alderman Lemon.
Yeah.
Alderman McIntyre.
Yes.
Alderman Radford.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Cooper.
Yes.
Mayor Boyd.
Yes. Okay, any announcements?
Town hall will be closed Friday, December 23rd, and Monday, December the 26th for Christmas, and closed Monday, January 2nd for the New Year holiday.
And we're also going to close down for a window on Wednesday so that employees can attend Carl Jones service. Right? That starts at 1 on Wednesday. So employees have the opportunity to attend that. So that was it then. That's all the announcements. Christmas is coming. Merry Christmas. Happy Hanukkah. Happy winter solstice, whatever all the choices and options are. Happy New Year. What are all the options that are out there this time of year that people enjoy and celebrate? I guess that's it. Motion to adjourn. Whoa, no, we got another one. Go ahead.
In the last meeting, I mentioned that I would love to have a schedule and some prints on what they're going to do on Massachusetts. I remember asking that in the last meeting. Have we got
First
anything?
phase.
Yes, have we gotten anything from whoever on that?
I have no schedule. The last time that we talked about it was they were going to wait till it was warmer weather.
Can they provide us with some drawings what they're going to do? 'Cause I have no idea what they're going to do, other than I've heard wings or something like that.
For Massachusetts,
For the first phase.
I've heard dams.
That's
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah,
Okay.
wings, yeah. I'm sure.
Irwin, I guess Irwin Utilities would be doing that.
Jason Foster.
Good.
We'll request them. We'll request something in writing, Jason Foster.
Because I'm sure the people would like to know what's going on.
And then we don't have anything for phase 2, for sure, yeah.
I just
Okay.
make one.
Okay, all right, just making clarification. Okay, anything else?
I had some tires that were dumped near my driveway. And it recap tires, quite a large number of them, including large tires, small tires, some that have been retreaded. So it's been dumped there from some company. So I worry that if it's not addressed, if we don't get those up, that other people will see that and dump more there. It's just an invitation to come in and just dump things. So I'd like to.
And it's on the road, right away over the road?
It's been moved to the side a little bit. Roger, did they, when you were there, it's been moved to the side, but it is still.
Danny and Tony and myself, we moved them over to the side. Yeah, he's working on it.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, addressing that. You're aware. It's gonna be hard to, we're gonna put a deer camera up or something.
I think this one,
That one does.
Yeah.
You might be able to, the road, has it been turned over to the property owners through there, or is that still railroad property?
It's both. There's a halfway down the middle is ours. It's all ours. And then the railroad is the other side.
I know there's several dump sites I want to talk to, they revealed multiple times that it's been.
Yeah.
These actually went down quick and stuff, pushed it off. I think
That
it's-
happened when Buckeye was closed, the railroad used to close that off, several years ago. And we were in the process of having that opened up to town of Unicoi, and something went wrong in the planning of that. And so now it is kind of half and half. It's half property owners, half railroad.
Okay. I'll give you.
Okay, anything else? Anything else? Okay, motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Second.
Second, we're out of here. Adjourn, 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 adjourn. Huh?
You didn't get to go.
Oh, I swear, I'm